Hello, John Najarian here. If you want to trade like a rebel, if you want to party like a rebel, well, you got to come to Rebelcon 2022. It's going to be in Dallas, Texas, at the fabulous Four Seasons Resort. We start the 21st of September, go until September 24th. It will be more fun and more live trading than we've ever done before. That's why it's called Rebelcon 2022. We're going to have barbecues and double the amount of live trading. So if you want to book that now, make sure you do, because the guest speakers, as soon as we announce those, this thing's going to be sold out. It's going to be something you do not want to miss. Limited to 250 people. Diamond, platinum, and gold packages are selling out. Sign up now for Rebelcon 2022 at the Four Seasons in Dallas, Texas.
Welcome to the Rebellion.
Well, how are you today? I'm Pete Najarian. This is the Take for Market Rebellion on this Thursday. We've gotten over the hump. Now we're at Thursday. We're almost to the end of the week, but it's not quite happened just yet. Yesterday, markets, very, very interesting. We did, again, have a pretty rangy market. As a matter of fact, we hit some of the highs of the day in terms of the Dow as well as the NASDAQ about midday, and then started to drop off a little bit. And that was about a 270-point close for the Dow and down about 90 for the NASDAQ. So we started off okay, and then we started to slip. And I can tell you, there was some chatter yesterday when we were on the show talking about, well, crude oil. It wasn't crude oil. Crude oil was making a move the entire day. Start to finish, crude oil just continued to the upside. Crude finished the day well over 122. But take a look at the 10-year and take a look at the 10-year versus when you started to see some of those moves that we were seeing in the market. As a matter of fact, all you've got to do is when the 10-year got underneath 3, well, that seems to be the level where people want to buy markets. Start to go above 3, you start to see the sellers come out. We finished the day over 3. And so that gives you the idea of what's kind of one of the catalysts. There are many catalysts each and every day, but during the trading session, I always just keep an eye on that now, because that has been what's been playing out for a while now. You look over at the volatility, still trading right around 24, in between that 20-25 range. So no man's land, as I've been talking about. And now take a look at some of the volume. We did get an improvement, still terrible relative to year to date, but one of the best trading volumes so far in the month of June. It's early, but nonetheless, 37 million contracts trading. Amazon, by the way, ever since that 20-for-1 split, each and every day is just leading the markets. It led markets yesterday, 1.28 million contracts trading in Amazon. Apple, a distant second place, but still around 1 million. So Apple's not going to give up that crown easily. But Amazon, for right now, the interest and the levels and everything else, that's giving people a lot more confidence to be a lot more active in names like Amazon. So every single sector closed in the red, except for energy yesterday. And then you look across and you want to see what was really down, what was getting hit the most, what was down more than 1% yesterday. Financials, industrials, materials, staples, technology, all of those down more than 1% yesterday. Where were some of the biggest movers trading yesterday? Well, on the positive side, still a little bit maybe on this reopen of China. You had Las Vegas Sands, you had Wynn. You had Etsy, we had Biogen, we also had Moderna. So a little bit in that biotech space. Chinese names were on fire yesterday, absolutely ripping to the upside. PDD, JD, NetEase, those kind of names. CAT, so looking pretty solid. Salesforce, also strong. But there was plenty of red, and obviously looking at where those markets closed, you can understand that. Goldman Sachs, American Express, JP Morgan, all finishing in the red, and the financials were off well over 1%. You had names in the semiconductor space like Micron and Marvell and Applied Materials, Texas Instruments, all getting hit yesterday. Some of the truckers, Old Dominion, one of those names. Intel added to that group of semiconductors as well, down big actually yesterday. Carnival Cruise, Royal, you get the idea. And also throw in lastly, Altria. Altria, with that downgrade that it got yesterday, that didn't help at all. That stock was down significantly as well. So we start off the day in a quiet-looking Thursday. And we were moving around. We actually were pretty positive, got some news out there, disappointing labor data. and then we started to shift a little bit. We were down about 50 points in the pre-market, just into the start of the day, down about 60 on the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ's been fairly tight range for most of the day, down about 50 or 60, got a little bit worse, and then at the top of the hour started to improve a little bit. And actually, last I looked, it was either flat or in positive territory. The Dow itself down about 170 points early. That started to improve a little bit as well. But it's been moving around, shifting around a little bit. We've been down as good as down 60 and actually down about 90 last I looked. Now, these are changing very, very rapidly depending on the moment that we seem to refresh on the computers. We see that refresh and suddenly we see another move. So that's how fast things are shifting. You look over at crude, essentially unchanged, just underneath 122. You look at the 10-year, however, it has been bouncing around a little bit, got up towards 305. We'll keep an eye on that and see if that correlation, that inverse correlation continues, but it certainly has been money so far. And that's those algorithms that are set up for this type of trading as well. And we see that happening, especially like we were talking about, these lower volume markets, that even makes those algos trade even more aggressively. It's all part of the whole system that we find ourselves in today. Bitcoin hanging around that 30,000 level. That's been something where it's been kind of planted for a little while, and that might be a good thing. Maybe just getting a rest before it makes the next move, maybe to the upside. I know Tom Lee and many others have been talking about Bitcoin and the markets for a long time over, just trying to analyze where are we? 68,000. We got all the way down into the 20,000 range, and then here we are now, just kind of holding on to that 30,000 level for Bitcoin. So most everything early on is still trading about where it was from a sector perspective. I'm looking at materials. I was looking at energy. I was looking at industrials. Not a lot of movement from where we started the day. The one area where we did see some movement, we did see some selling, was in the financials. We saw some improvement actually over in technology. So a little bit of the yin and the yang of what's going on. Financials, that's definitely dragging on the Dow. You get a little bit better on the tech, that's what's helping out a little bit for the NASDAQ. So what names are really working right now? Well, NXPI is one of them. Tesla had that UBS upgrade today, so that stock has been strong since the start of the day. Campbell Soup is up there. Costco looking pretty solid. HD. I'm looking at Walmart, all trading pretty nicely to the upside. But there's plenty of negatives out there. I just mentioned some of the stuff about China. Well, the Chinese names, today they're giving it up a little bit, 5-6% to the downside. JD, PDD, those kind of names. On top of that, you also can see what was sort of that reopen trade kind of shutting a little bit down as well, because Las Vegas Sands and Wynn and MGM all in negative territory early, as well as the cruise ships. I'm looking at Carnival and Norwegian getting hit a little bit. Moderna, which was stronger yesterday, a little bit of weakness today. I'm also looking at Nucor, a little bit of a shot. We talked about materials down about 1% early on, a little bit less than that now, but about 1%. Got two unusuals for you, and then we're out of here. NIO is trading just over 19 electric vehicles here. A buyer of 9,800. Now, listen to me on this one. Today is June 9th. These expire June 10th. They have to work today and tomorrow, 2 days. Then they're done. The 21 strike calls is what they were buying, 9,800 of those. 5 cents up to 16 cents. Whenever I see something like this, I always like to poke around a little bit, look around. It's just a tip from me. I looked over at the 20s. The 20s are not trading for too much more than those 21 calls. So just as a possibility, if you think that there's going to be a move in the stock, that is a better way to get a little bit better leverage. You're getting a little bit closer to where the stock is trading right now. Just how I like to break things down and try to look around at that. American Airlines is another one, trading about 15.80. But this one, and we rarely do talk puts. This is a put trade here, looking for a little bit more of a negative pullback in the airlines right now. American, as I mentioned, trading just below 16. They bought 4,800 of the June 10th expiring 2 days away. We all know that. That's tomorrow. The 15.5 strike calls. So not looking for a monstrous drop, but looking for the stock to make a little bit more of a dip. It's only 30 cents away from that level right now. Those options are going for 10 cents up to about 17 cents. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, get educated. Plenty of free ways to do it. There are also ways to do it where you can pay coaches and all the rest of it. Market Rebellion has some great educational folks, so I encourage you, if you want to be in the derivatives markets, you have to understand what they are and how they're priced and how you're going to see things move. That's where these guys come into play and do a great job of helping you out. I'm Pete Najarian. Have a great day of trading.